are busy being rock stars, so Hawk and I are going to fill in, and lately we've been talking a lot about what's coming next for housing. We have a ton of variables out there right now that could impact housing in 2013 and beyond, and while some of us are capping off our best years ever, others can't wait until 2012 is over. So that brings us to 2013. Now before we get started, let's go to Barry for a quick market update.
Hey guys, now after the election, 4 more years of Mr. Obama means that Ben Bernanke will likely remain in office at least through his term of 2014. And then when he's replaced, Janet Yellen, who's even more dovish, will likely replace him. So propensity for lower interest rates, more QE, things like that into the future. Shorter term, we have the expiration of Operation Twist, where you sell shorter term maturity treasuries and buy longer term maturity treasuries. Now, when it expires, what will likely happen is that they'll just buy longer-term maturity treasuries. I see that happening, especially in the wake of what's happened with Sandy. Now, what we also have is we have the stock market breaking down. We've seen that. We have to watch this very carefully. The S&P has been doing very poorly, but now it's at its 200-day moving average. A break beneath there would be very good news for interest rates, but it's quite possible it holds here, and that would mean stocks make a bounce back, and that would be harmful for interest rates. We're at a critical level as we begin the week. We've got to watch this very, very closely. And when you start to see like some of the generals out there, meaning like Apple, some of the leaders in the marketplace, break down that they have, what's the reason for this? You think about it, capital gains, if it's feared that capital gains will be going up next year, a lot of investors who made a lot of money with Apple want to take some profits now and protect themselves. So keep an eye on Apple. Keep an eye on the leaders in the market. Watch the S&P closely. If we see stocks break down, rates are going to go a lot lower and at least test or break their all-time lows. We see stocks start to bounce higher, short-term lock, but I still think rates are headed lower in the long term. Thanks.
Now, we've already outlined most of this in a couple of our last shows, but let's talk about something we haven't covered yet, the distressed home sale trend.
While nobody can say for sure that the trend will continue, it does look promising right now with delinquencies dropping from 5.7 to 3.4%. And in an earlier show, we stated that we felt this was due to improved lender short sale processes and participation.
Now we can actually quantify this and support our point. Take a look. Short sales are certainly on the rise. Look at Vegas. Foreclosure sales dropped hard from 48% to now only 11%. Where did the Vegas sales go? Did they just dry up? Maybe a little bit, but take a look at the short sale numbers, up now to 44% from 25%.
And it's not just Vegas. Sacramento's foreclosure sales are down to 12% from 35%, and short sale activity, well, it's up to 35% from 26% just a year ago.
Now you can see that there's obviously still a large amount of distressed sales, but the number is definitely declining. Now, what does that mean for you and I and the housing market for 2013?
Well, I personally think it means a lot for builders. Now, before you go all Tosh.0 on me, let me explain. We now know that current distressed sales are on the decline, and even new potential distressed sales are also on the decline, all equaling up to another slower year for REO, which ultimately results in a lack of inventory. Many areas have already seen this happen.
So what does that mean?
Well, first-time home buyers and investors will continue to buy.
What will they buy?
Over the last couple of years, data suggests that they purchased REO property.
Well, REO property's drying up, so what's next?
The move-up buyers and sellers, of course, one big problem there. They can't afford to sell. They don't have enough equity to do so, or they just completed a nice HARP refi that has them feeling much better about their situation. So there will obviously continue to be move-up buyers, but their numbers will be limited.
So REO inventory slowing down, current existing inventory not moving, what does that leave?
Aha! New home sales. Builders are back, baby.
You can see that the trend is already underway. Take a look at recent net orders. They are up and up big for most of the builders. What has already happened is a backlog of sorts.
The current backlog for just these 9 builders is over 30,000 homes. This is up 44% from just a year ago. Developers and builders know this already, and as a result, you'll see a premium placed on these lots, pushing the cost and the value of these homes up.
You can already see this in their average home price. It's up 7.3% for D.R. Horton in just the last year. The new median price for a new home is now $256,900. This is only 1% away from the peak that was reached in 2006.
Well, let's dive a little deeper into this. Think about it for a second. If this trend continues, then construction jobs will be created, new appliances and furniture will need to be purchased, and that pushes much needed dollars back into the economy.
This can already be seen by looking at Home Depot's recent earnings. As of the third quarter 2012, their net income climbed 1.4% to $947 million.
Here's an interesting quote from an article that again supports our position.
The housing market is healing, with new home sales rising to the fastest pace in 2 years and construction starting at the fastest rate in 4 years. The rebound has helped sales in many Home Depot locations, some up 4.2%. The sixth straight quarterly increase as customers visited more often and spent more per trip.
And then finally, if the new home sale trend continues, that will obviously create revenue for you and I. Realtors, loan officers, builders, escrow, title appraisers, you get the point. Now, if I'm a lender or a realtor or an escrow person knowing this, I may want to start dusting off those builder relationships, maybe make a visit or two.
You know, the other interesting variable for 2013 are the Dodd-Frank and the Mortgage Forgiveness Act.
You know, you're exactly right on that. The CFPB has a short amount of time to implement the new Dodd-Frank rules and regulations. This could very well change the landscape of the lending industry.
And mortgage forgiveness expires very soon, and we don't know for sure if it's going to be extended. That could have a huge impact as well.
If it doesn't get extended, then distressed homeowners may think twice about executing that sale.
We all know that Uncle Sam could really use those dollars right now, so there's no guarantee that the Mortgage Forgiveness Act will be extended.
I think it would be a major misstep if they didn't, and it could be a huge setback. Anyways, we'll have to wait and see. What do you guys think about 2013? Did you have a banner year in 2012, and will it continue? How do you think builders, the Frank Dodd, and the Mortgage Forgiveness Act will impact the new year? What say you, TBWS Nation? Let us know down below.